Corona infection rates in America have surged significantly in the past weeks, posing a serious threat. First, in April 2025, the average number of COVID deaths in America reached 350 cases per week. This is a large number and a large increase over what was happening before. Of course, it did not reach the alarming increases that were present in the first epidemic, which was 2019 to 2022.
Nevertheless, these figures remain large and unexpected, indicating rapid changes. The second dangerous point. There is a clear danger in this new virus, this new interlocutor, to the groups most at risk, which are the elderly, young children, and those with chronic diseases or immune diseases. The most dangerous of them are the elderly. In this recent wave that occurred in America, the elderly over 70 years old or 75 years old are exposed to very big health problems that may lead to mortality. The death rate in people over 75 years of age has increased to 4.6 or 0.7 million per 100,000 people, which is a large number because the elderly have the problem of immune aging and their immune system itself is already weak. In addition, he also has other chronic diseases such as diabetes, blood pressure, heart disease, and chest problems. He has other chronic problems as a result of age. Therefore, it cannot withstand the pressure of corona, which leads to death.
Another major issue in America currently is the decreasing interest in vaccination among the population. The issue is, after the first epidemic, the first corona, people are no longer taking vaccinations periodically. The latest update says that only 23% of adults over the age of 10 have taken the vaccination. It is vaccination. I mean, my choice is not mandatory for people.
Only 23% of those who took it, and children under 18 years of age, increased the percentage, but those who took it, and therefore the general people, do not have sufficient immunity, and therefore I am opposed to the risk, and the origin of the vaccination itself decreases with time, and immunity decreases with time, but the new evolver may not be. Go with the taste that exists.
The fourth point is that the new evolver or new mutant that they saw in America during this period,
it is a slightly weaker mutant than the old one, but the fastest spreading, and it has the ability to resist. The existing vaccination is evolving. It develops itself if it resists the existing vaccination. The corona has very many types: affinity, beta, gamma, delta, and micron. The most dangerous of them is delta, but the one that exists now is also fast, spread from a strain or micron if its name is.
These are fast-spreading strains, but fortunately not very potent.
This appeared before, by the way, it appeared in the winter of 2023, and we presented an episode of episodes. The most dangerous thing left, I mean, everything we said is a factor of escalation for the Americans, or a factor of a spirit of panic. I mean, the relative is the result of the increases that we see, and the number of deaths and injuries of the elderly, and so on. But the very dangerous thing, if it starts to happen, a discovery that is considered certain now that this virus is coming from Southeast Asia specifically. Of course, Group Share Asia is a concern for them because this is the source of the first virus, and it is the rest of the world's first. The first came from China, and they found that after doing analyses of people coming at some airports, they identified some airports in America, and they made random samples of people coming from places in Southeast Asia. They actually found that this virus is coming from Southeast Asia, coming specifically from China, Singapore, and Hong Kong. This caused major media escalations, especially in light of the tension that we know between America and China, now the economic, military, and political tension, and the international exchanges, the great media that we see between the two teams on the internet pages and advertising. The escalation came as usual, meaning some news leaks to the press, and after that, politicians comment on this news one after another, and they cover up tests like this with this. In this way, the field came out with a report in which they talked again about the first virus, the first epidemic that was 5 or 6 years ago, and they said that this epidemic was its origin, and they were in China, a city in China, and they were. The probability of the epidemic is divided into two main possibilities. The first possibility is that it is coming from a natural origin.
From the wet market means the wet market where all kinds of birds, animals, and reptiles are sold in China is famous, and the bats are the reason for the theme, the famous need. The second possibility is that there will be a leak from the Han virus laboratory, and she raised the issue and said that it is that we are still investigating the case and the matter has not yet been resolved.
I commented on the subject. She said that she is referring to the information she has. She sees that the issue is often a laboratory leak, and there are no mistakes from the white market, no mistakes from the connected markets. And this laboratory leak may be negligence or it may be deliberate. So she started as if it were what? China accuses an official accusation or an accusation that means indirectly that it is the cause of this accusation. The spread of the virus in the world, this global disaster, the biggest disaster if it is deliberate, it is waging a war on the world or on America, or it has something to do with it, and the issue, for example, got out of control, but it was intended to raise this point. It did not walk with nothing and announce this in the pages of newspapers. The Chinese did not know that the person who spoke this hint wanted behind him. After that, there would be escalations. The Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs commented on the issue and said that the Han Institute of Virology was never involved in creating or leaking this virus originally, and it was not. I am not working mainly on the issue of COVID so that the virus will emerge from it. And I wasn't satisfied with that. I made another escalation. I held a conference for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in which the spokeswoman for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs spoke her name and said that judging scientific matters must follow a scientific path that scientists do not do. It does not have intelligence agencies, or America needs to stop politicizing things. And what do you recommend to the opinion of the group and the opinion of scientists? Likewise, she says the political opinion she saw, so she directly accused America of politicizing the issue and of turning things around and deceiving people about the truth of the matter. The media splashes, of course, brought back to mind the first calamity, the calamity of the first epidemic, death 6. 9, 10,000 at least in the world, and some statistics say no. This continued 15,000 for us and infected more than 700,000 people in the world. So it came back. The memory of for the world, and thus it became a state of panic as a result of this pain. The topic, do you think this new virus is an attack? Chinese on certain countries in the world? The whole world, or on such and such or not, is also a leak of my destiny coming from or from any animal or from any such and such. God knows where the truth is. The truth has not yet appeared, and it may never appear. I mean, we do not hear the news, and we do not have the mechanisms, the test, the subject, or to discover the truth. Do you think the honest ones, the Chinese, in what they say, deny suspicion about the Han Institute or other institutes? Handling needs, technology, viruses, bacteria, etc. And America is not the one who is honest about the issue in its claim against China. We do not have a background on this issue. He wrote to the world that it is suffering from this war taking place between the major powers in the world. We are very affected by the military wars. Between them, we are affected by political wars, and we are very affected by economic wars. Currently, we're impacted by health wars between teams, yet when we reflect, there's more to consider. Those who are not on them. Those who are not on the strong countries that are fighting each other in these twisted, many, multiple ways that affect different segments of the world. Blame the weak who accepted the weakness of those who are content only with observing events. Do you know what this will turn out to? But they don't have the ability to change course, acting like this shit which rises above the torrent. The torrent walked to the right. What is it walking to the right? North, north. He does not have the ability to change the course. We ask God Almighty to honor Islam and Muslims. May God reward you well, and may God's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you.